Hello, Vance here, Senior Product Designer from the Ecosystem team. And today, for today's UX Showcase, I want to talk about simplifying the Jira integration / installation flow. So for that, we have an issue here. So there's currently 3 different ways to integrate Jira with GitLab. So one being the GitLab project integration. 2 is the Jira Connect app for that lives in the Atlassian marketplace. And 3 is the DVCS connector. And this is mainly used for Jira Server and GitLab self-managed instances. So the issue with having these multiple ways to integrate Jira and GitLab is that it becomes confusing for the individual that's setting these integrations up. There's different entry points into setting up these integrations, and they don't. There isn't necessarily an easy way to understand all the different entry points, and then what's the difference. For example, if you're setting up the project integration versus the Connect app, and this also is reflected in the low ratings that we have for the Connect app currently. So ideally, what would happen is if I was installing the Jira project integration, once I set that up, there would be a step there that I could say, also install the Connect app, and vice versa. If I'm installing the Connect app first, there should be an easy way for me to click a button that would automatically set up the Jira project integration that's tied to that same namespace. All right, so with that, I'll just talk a little bit more about each of the methods. So the first one being the GitLab project Jira integration. So this integration has about 1 million projects using it. And again, it's geared more for developers using that primarily work in GitLab and that don't want to leave GitLab. So it enables them to view their Jira issues inside of GitLab, and they could also change the status of those Jira issues from GitLab. So for example, they could reference a Jira ID in a merge request or commit and say, for example, closes LP1. And what that would do is change the status of that Jira issue from GitLab. And I'll just give a demo of what that looks like. So this is the project integration. This is maybe the integration that more people may be familiar with. So I have a project here that has this integration configured. Once that's configured, I'll see a new Jira issues nav item, and I could see my Jira issues inside of GitLab. And I could also see the details of that issue now inside of GitLab. And to do any other editing of this issue, I would have to go to Jira directly to change some of this content if I needed. Okay, secondly, now for the Jira Connect app. So this app has around tens of thousands of installs, which is a lot fewer than our GitLab integration. So one of the desired outcomes is to increase the number of installs for the Connect app. So what the Connect app is for is, this is the reverse. This is more for PMs and managers that primarily use GitLab or primarily stay in Jira all day, but they want to get a sense of what's happening in GitLab. So this will, having this installed will allow them to see the GitLab activity inside of their Jira issue. So just a quick demo of what that looks like. Let's see. So the Connect app lives inside the marketplace, and this is the landing page for it. And then once that's set up, if I go to my Jira issue board here, and I open up a Jira issue, I'll have this new development panel that shows up, and clicking on that, I'll have a little bit more detail, and all this activity then is coming from GitLab. So I could see my commits, my merge requests, and any other relevant build data here. Okay, so going back, then we have the third method that I mentioned, which is the DVCS connector. And this is needed for integrating Jira Server and GitLab self-managed instances. So for this showcase, I'm not gonna go into any detail about this third method. I'm just gonna focus on the first two. Okay, so before I go into some of the solutions for simplifying this install rate from both entry points from the Jira, for the GitLab project integration side and the Connect app side. I'm just going to walk through what it looks like currently. So right now, starting with the GitLab Jira integration, project integration. Right now, if I set that integration up and I hit save, I'm pretty much done. So if I was someone that's coming into this entry point, I might not even know about the Connect app, that it even exists or what it's even for. So ideally, in this case, there'd be some way to, first of all, know about the Connect app, and second of all, make it really easy to install from this screen. So here's one proposal. So proposal is, once the integration saved, I would see a toast message here that says it's been saved and active. And at that point, the system knows already which namespace we're using, and we could make it more discoverable that the Connect app exists. So, and ideally from there, you could just hit one button to install. It would install it. It would install the Connect app, and then we could provide ways to go to manage that app. So clicking the Manage app would take them to their configuration screen in the Connect app, and that's where they could manage their namespaces or remove it if they needed to, or they could read more documentation. So this seems pretty simple, but after working with Luke, our backend engineer from Ecosystem, he did some technical feasibility research here, and there are a lot of challenges that we face just with being able to do that. So one is that it's for Jira Cloud only, and second, and this is one of the biggest challenges, I think, is that the Jira Cloud project must be set to have development mode enabled. And right now it looks like there's like less than 5% of cloud customers have that setting enabled. So that's a challenge. And then another challenge is that the project cannot have been previously installed, or previously couldn't have been installed through the marketplace. If so, then it could be forever blocked, which isn't a great experience there either. So knowing these challenges and constraints, so what a boring solution that we could do to start with is, just bring that up here, just have a static mock-up for that. What we could do is at least still make the Connect app more discoverable by still using the banner, but instead of having a nice install flow that would just work in line, we could just link off to the Connect app. So clicking this would take them to the marketplace, to the landing page. They could still manually do the install, but at least this is a step in the right direction and requires a lot less engineering effort. All right, so that's one solution proposal for the GitLab project integration. So now moving on to the Connect app. So for the Connect app, I'll show everyone here what it looks like right now when you're setting it up for the first time. So when setting it up, I first have to log into GitLab, then I'll be prompted with this configuration screen where I have to add a namespace and link a GitLab namespace. So if I do that, presented with a list of my available namespaces, I'll just link this test group up. And once I've linked a namespace, I could see here what to do next. So I can see that it's been successfully linked, and I could learn more about how this integration works. So what we need to do here is somewhere in this flow, it would be great to prompt the individual installing this, telling them that they could also easily configure the GitLab project integration for this same namespace. So I have a updated flow here. So very similar to the existing flow. So I'd add a namespace, click link, and then we could add another step here. Once the namespace has been selected, we could recommend to additionally configure the GitLab project integration for that same namespace. And just a disclaimer here, this is still very early on in the design phase, so this still all needs to be looked at by a technical writer. So this is most likely a lot of this copy will change. So once that's configured, this flow would be the same. Maybe in a future iteration, we could also add another column to this table to show whether or not the GitLab project integration that's associated with that namespace has also been configured. But for now, this would be the first step. So let's see, talked a little bit about the constraints. So that's it for for my UX showcase. If you have any questions, feedback, or comments, please leave them in this main issue that I've been referencing here. And thank you all for listening.